In industrial machinery, we frequently need to drive heavy equipment in two directions, forward and reverse. While sending a massive motor into reverse is a standard operation, doing it without the exact right logic sequence will result in catastrophic failure. To reverse the rotation of any three-phase motor, you simply need to change the connection of any two motor T-leads. To comply with standard NEMA industry practices, you will specifically swap leads T1 and T3. Physically swapping two wires by hand is straightforward, but safely automating this process on a live high-voltage system requires specialized, heavy-duty hardware. Looking at this NEMA reversing starter unit, we see two separate magnetic contactors sitting side by side. Because the motor requires two completely distinct power paths, one to drive forward and one to run in reverse, the circuit assigns a dedicated contactor to each direction. However, there is only one overload relay, or OL, attached to the system. The contactors manage the direction of the current, which alternates, but the overload relay protects the motor from excess heat and current overload, a risk that remains exactly the same no matter which way the shaft is spinning. This side-by-side setup is highly efficient, but it introduces a severe vulnerability. By wiring two parallel power paths directly to the motor, we have created the perfect physical environment for a dead short. To prevent equipment damage, engineers rely on a strict logic system called interlocking. Interlocking forces the circuit to wait, physically and electrically, preventing one action from occurring until another specific action has been completed or stopped. This animated schematic shows exactly what interlocking is designed to prevent. If the forward and reverse contactors slam shut at the exact same time, phase lines L1 and L3 will bridge directly across each other, resulting in a violent, explosive phase-to-phase short circuit. To guarantee this never happens, the system must force one contactor to completely de-energize before the opposing one can engage. This protection begins directly at the physical hardware layer. This schematic shows our first layer of defense, mechanical interlocking. Manufacturers build physical fail-safes directly into the reversing starters, represented here by these dashed lines converging at a solid point between the forward and reverse coils. Those dashed lines represent a physical seesaw lever. If the forward contactor pulls down and energizes, the lever mechanically tilts and physically blocks the reverse contactor from pulling down. Next, we look at this control diagram to see our second layer, push-button interlocking. Notice the crossing dashed lines linking the normally open and normally closed sides of the forward and reverse push buttons. These represent double acting switches. When an operator presses the reverse button, the mechanical link ensures the normally closed contact on top opens first. This physically breaks the forward coil circuit a fraction of a second before the reverse circuit is allowed to close. Physical levers and linked buttons are highly effective, but the ultimate industrial safety standard requires a third, redundant layer relying purely on electrical logic. This schematic introduces Method 3, auxiliary contact interlocking. These blue-shaded components are normally closed auxiliary contacts cross-wired between the two coils. The forward contact is wired in series with the reverse coil, and the reverse contact is wired in series with the forward coil. This diagram tracks the current flow during a forward start sequence. Energizing the forward coil closes the load contacts to run the motor, but because of that cross-wiring, it simultaneously forces the normally closed forward auxiliary contact on the bottom path to spring open. With that forward contact held open, the electrical path to the reverse coil is completely severed. We now have a hard electrical lockout. So what exactly happens if an operator panics and presses the reverse button without pressing stop first? Absolutely nothing. Because the forward coil is still energized, its normally closed auxiliary contact remains actively held open, breaking the reverse circuit. The operator is forced to press stop, de-energizing the forward coil and resetting the auxiliary contacts before the motor can be reversed. By wiring the lockout directly into the electrical logic, we ensure that human error, like panicked button mashing, cannot bypass the sequence to protect the motor. In industrial engineering, a single point of failure is unacceptable. Facilities do not rely on just one interlocking method to protect massive equipment. This master schematic integrates all three interlocking mechanisms. Mechanical linkages, double-acting push buttons, and auxiliary contacts work simultaneously. If a lever snaps, the push button breaks the circuit. If a switch fails, auxiliary logic takes over. Layered fail-safes prevent explosions. To secure a three-phase reversing motor, you need three distinct layers of defense: the physical block of mechanical levers, the sequential brake of double-acting push buttons, and the electrical lockout of cross-wired auxiliary contacts. Now it's your turn. Subscribe to the channel and test your understanding by solving the real-world troubleshooting scenarios pinned in the comments below. Mastering these 3 safeguards provides the exact blueprint you will need to diagnose and fix the system when it inevitably goes down in the field.